Fantastic coverage in a water-based form, like metal leaf, but easier to use. I'm looking around at my other paintings to see how I can use it. I don't know how I got along without it. Yes! Wow, this stuff is gorgeous.
There are so many options out there for adding shimmer, glitter, iridescence, whatever you want to call it, to your paintings. So how do you know which to choose? Today I'm going to test out a few different options, compare them to ones I've tried in the past, and finally pick one that I like the most to use in this painting of a hummingbird. In addition to the actual color of the shimmer you want to use, you should consider 3 things when thinking about what's right for you. Number 1, are you going to be finishing your painting with varnish or wax? That could impact how your shimmer behaves. So test that out before you make a commitment to a certain kind of shimmer. Number 2, are you going to be scanning or photographing your artwork? And are you going to want to be able to see that shimmer in the digital image? That could affect not only the product that you choose to use, but how you manipulate that digital image to make sure you can actually see it. A lot of these options look different in different lighting. Some you can only see at a certain angle, and others you can kind of see at almost every angle. Whether or not you end up scanning it or photographing it, that will play a big part in what one you want to choose. And finally, number 3, do you want to work with a powder, a liquid, or one that can be both? In this painting of a toad, I actually just dusted on some edible glitter to get some shimmer. And while it did produce a nice shimmer, you can't see it in a lot of different angles of light, and it kind of rubbed off pretty easily while I was trying to do the other parts of the painting, and even once I applied the wax. I used this really cheap craft store glitter paint for the shimmer on the wing of this blackbird, and I thought that actually worked really well. You can use actual watercolors like Primatech colors or even interference colors. I would just recommend testing those out before you commit to using one in a final painting, especially interference colors, as those typically need to be painted onto a darker background in order for you to actually see them. Having the ability to use a shimmer as both a dry powder and being able to mix it into a liquid state to have more control over the application is what I personally look for. So let's take a look at the result of the test. I've already painted 3 sets of feathers here to test out these 3 different versions of shimmer. And it kind of gradiates from red to orange. I just mixed aqua pink and azo yellow to try and emulate what we're going to be painting on the hummingbird. I'm going to start with our mix of brilliant gold. So this is the PearlEx powder mixed with gum arabic and water. It's mixed 4 parts of pigment, that PearlEx powder, to 1 part gum arabic, and then I just mixed in water to get kind of a watery consistency. So I loaded my brush with that. I'm going to go ahead and just see what it looks like. I loaded a lot, my brush, so I probably don't need that much. It's really quite intense. So I'm going to add a little bit of water there too. And then we'll let that dry and see what that looks like. Let's do the same thing with the super copper color on the second set of feathers. Well, I like that. And I'm kind of tilting my head to look at it in the light and see if I put enough on. And I'm not really going for like a really intense shimmer, but it's kind of neat that you could really adjust and be precise painting with shimmer like this, like it's an actual paint that we made ourselves. You really have a lot of control as to how much you put on and then where you put it. The last thing we're going to test is this dry pigment. Now this is a really old version of this Schmincke Aqua Bronze, and it wasn't called Aqua Bronze at the time, but it is now, so it should be the same thing as Aqua Bronze. But when you're working with a dry pigment, you have to use it on a wet area of paper. So I'm going to come in and just do a little glaze of water over these feathers and then pop in some of this powder, and you can see that we already covered the top with just a little piece of nylon fabric. So it's very meshy. It has nice fine holes in it that allow the pigment to kind of escape the bottle in a little bit of a controlled way. You can even see in this lighting how this Aqua Bronze is just much more vibrant than the other 2 PearlEx tests. You can see the PearlEx coming through at certain angles of light. I think this gold was more successful on top of this red color than the copper was. But this seems just like such a clear standout shimmer to me that's what I want to use in our hummingbird. If you are loving what you're learning in this video and wish that I offered more, I do. I would love to have you join us in our Studio Family membership right here on YouTube. You can click the join button and get access to 2 exclusive member-only paint-alongs every single week. Members also get to help me choose what I paint each month, get access to monthly supply giveaways, and enjoy community in our private Facebook group. So instead of sprinkling this onto the feathers, I'm actually going to use a brush to apply it when we go in and paint the hummingbird. So let's see what happens. There it is. Look at that. That looks so cool. Aqua Bronze. And you can see it at a lot of different angles, and it kind of has various intensities of strength. Looks really, really neat, and I think it looks really great on our hummingbird.
The reviews that you saw at the beginning of the video were all for Aqua Bronze, and based on my personal experience comparing it with other forms of shimmer and using it in the hummingbird painting, I would agree that Aqua Bronze is the clear winner.
If this video helped you, I encourage you to leave a like, a comment, or subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Happy painting!